Alright, bringing you a quick and simple review of the new Eachine E55 ready to fly quadcopter. This is an FPV ready quadcopter. This is everything that comes with the quadcopter. You get 2 manuals, the quadcopter itself, a battery, a holder for your phone, and a nice little velvet bag. What I would say about this quadcopter, first of all, is that Banggood really spent some time rethinking these little toy micro FPV quadcopters and put together something that I think is really unique. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the features. First, let's go ahead and take a look at the quadcopter itself. What makes this design unique is that the arms fold out, turning this into a much larger quadcopter with these collapsible blades. It allows it to be folded up and stored. On the back side you have the battery door. I like that it has a removable battery. Let's go ahead and throw the battery in. We'll show you how easy this is to power up. The door just simply closes, and then all you do is press and hold the power button till the machine lights up. Set it down for calibration. Turn on the controller. And then cycle the throttle, and it's ready to go. If you look at the transmitter, right away you'll notice that the throttle stick is spring-loaded. That's because this is an altitude hold quadcopter. When it first arrived, I was a little nervous about the altitude hold. I had purchased the Cheerson, the little Cheerson FPV quadcopter with altitude hold, and quite honestly the altitude hold on this quadcopter was very frustrating, and so I didn't really enjoy it on this micro scale. But I have to say, I have spent a week now flying this around the house and the office and the park and just anywhere that I can think of, and it's so simple that I've allowed my 5-year-old son to play around with this and fly it a little bit. So the altitude hold works really, really well, has some other nice features to it. The FPV camera is right there in the front. It's recessed a little bit. The antenna comes out the side right here. I've not been able to nick or dent any of these props. I think some of that might be because of the way that it folds. Let's go ahead and show you what this looks like flying, and then we'll go ahead and wrap everything up and give you a thumbs up or thumbs down on this thing, and we'll explain why this would be a good purchase or not. Let's go ahead and power on the quadcopter. We're going to turn on the transmitter. So that turns the motors on and do an auto takeoff. So it's very maneuverable, flies really nice, and that's hands off right there. That is an impressive quadcopter in my opinion. It's got its own altitude hold. Let's go ahead and fly it around and see how the altitude hold works. As I was saying before, I like this quadcopter because I think the altitude hold is better than any quadcopter that I have seen up until this point. The throttle is smooth to increase, smooth to decrease as well. You can see the altitude hold works really, really well. Even when it gets into its own ground effect, it still holds nicely. Landing is just as simple as holding the throttle down. Alright, let's go ahead and start up the motors. We'll take off again. There, kind of corrected. Alright, let's go ahead and play with some of the modes. Alright, that does a flip. The right button does a flip. Lots of power, great altitude function. Let's try this left button. So that felt like it was rates. Yep. So there's high rate and low rate. I think I actually prefer the low rate. Just wonderful. It's just a wonderful flying quadcopter. And I'm not just saying that. I've flown a lot of these, and I really like this quadcopter. Very easy to fly, but it's also very maneuverable. There, I just hit the curtain there, and it still didn't come down. Alright, let's go ahead and auto land it again by pushing that button. Very nice auto land there. Let's go ahead and take back off. Start up the props. I like that. Launch it. I'm going to turn it back to single or low rate. Okay, that's headless mode, which works great. I hate headless mode, but maybe you don't. Maybe you like it. Headless mode works fine. Alright, we're back out of headless mode. Let's go ahead and land it again. Alright, we're going to turn this off and try and control it by the phone. Ooh, that's a very red picture. There, that's a little better. Let's go ahead and take off. Alright, control by the iPhone is a little tricky, but not bad. I've flown much, much worse. It's not laggy at all, so there's nothing weird there. The camera works awesome. And there's hands-free on the throttle. And I'm totally able to control it. Alright, let's go ahead and try gyro tilt. Okay. Alright, we got the tilt function on here. And it's very calm. There are multiple rates here. Let's go ahead and turn the rates up just a little bit. I think one of the things that I like about this cell phone mode is that you can fly it with one hand like this. If you wanted to track yourself, you'd be able to do that. Alright, battery is drained. Let's go ahead and land it. Okay, so final thoughts on this quadcopter, and the big question is this one that you can live without or isn't it? So when it comes to buying these toy quads, there's basically two things that you need to look at. Number one is the features. At this level, at this price point, there are no quadcopters that have as many features as this one. Then the question is, how good are the features? And the answer to that question is excellent. This quadcopter ended up flying much, much better than I was ever expecting, especially with the Wi-Fi. There's no lag on the Wi-Fi, which I really liked. I really enjoyed the controller. I like the size of it. I like how it fits in my hand. I also like that the battery is removable. And just in case you're wondering what the battery size is on this little guy, it's a 300 mAh, so you can just pick up a few of these, have them all charged up if you wanted to, and keep on flying. The weight on it is excellent. I like how lightweight it is, but it does seem to fly well both inside and outside. The USB charger just is what it is. That's industry standard, so whatever. Let me think what else. What else is positive? The little bag I think is pretty cool. You can fold the arms up. I'll show you how it goes inside the bag. You can take the quad and stick it in this bag. You take your charger, stick it in there, the battery, stick it in there, and the props, stick it in there, pull it all shut. And that tiny little FPV quadcopter that's ready to take videos right directly from your cell phone, can fly with a smartphone, is with you. You can throw this in your backpack, stick it in your car, put it in the glove box, and you've got it with you all the time. It's perfect for taking to the office or whatever. So the portability of this thing plus the expandable size is excellent. The only thing that I would say is a little bit of a disappointment is that this doesn't stretch quite large enough for my cell phone. So that if I wanted to mount my cell phone onto the controller, I'm not able to do that with my cell phone without taking it out of the case. That's the only negative that I could find with this quadcopter. So the big question is, with this quad, is this a thumbs up or a thumbs down? Is this a wish list item? And the answer is absolutely. The features and the way that it flies, trust me guys, you will not be disappointed. And if you have any questions, go ahead and post them. I'm here to help you guys out. If you like this and you want to see some more reviews, just go ahead and hit the like button or hit subscribe, and look forward to bringing you guys more future videos.